It is a bright sunny day, a few little clouds, looking gorgeous. I don't know what it's supposed to get up to today, but it's lovely now. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. I did not sleep last night. You know, a while ago I was having so much trouble sleeping. I mean, every day I would be reporting on my sleeping. And have you noticed that lately, up until the last week and a half, you haven't heard much about my sleeping? It's because I've been sleeping okay. Not great always, but okay. Not lately, man. I don't know. It must be stress. I don't know. But I hardly slept at all. And Dennis, the rascal, didn't wake up in time to bring me coffee, so I even had to get up and get him tea. I waited it out so that he would bring me coffee, and then he didn't wake up. Until I was getting dressed. So, Vicky left yesterday around noon. She got home safe and sound. She's texted last night. I didn't see the text till this morning, but I wasn't worried. I follow my mother's adage. One of her famous sayings is, no news is good news. And apparently that's what I do too. I never called when I got there, so because nobody was worried. You know, like if I was going home, call when you get home, let us know you got home safe. No, never happened when I was a kid growing up living with my family. And I very rarely say it. I mean, I never say it like when the kids leave, you know, just safe travels, you know, and I just assume everything is fine. If I don't hear, I assume everything is fine. Now, clearly that's not always the case, but I mean, you know, I haven't heard from somebody for a long time. It turns out they got sick and, you know, but anyway, I heard no news is good news all my life, and I guess I kind of absorbed it because I don't need a lot of, you know, communication or feedback about, you know, just whatever. And I hardly ever remember. Dennis likes it when I'm going to my parents, when I just text him that I got there. But does he worry when I don't text him? No, because I don't text him more often than I do text him, because I can't remember to do it because it's not part of my thing. But anyway, I was glad to know she wants to, you know, Aura wants to know, and, you know, I would, but if I didn't have a text from her, I would still assume that she got home safely. I hadn't heard any news about an airplane crash. So, but it was good to know she got there. She did, and at a reasonable hour. I don't know if it was on time or not because I didn't know when she was supposed to get in. But anyway, she's home safe, or is feeling a little lonely because she's had, you know, company in her sitting room every morning for the past week, and now she doesn't. But she'll be down later and hang out with us. I did do, I knit yesterday. Look at me going right along. So I finished off the green. The green was done, so I changed color and started purling. This one wasn't finished, but since my pearls were in a different yarn, I thought, so what? And I thought, so what? I'm the boss of my knitting. Anyway, I am getting quite far here. In fact, it occurred to me that I could try these on, because this is the part that goes over my calf. I'm pretty sure I could do that without taking it off the needles, even though I'm knitting them 2 at a time. Let me see if I can do that. There you go. Hey, Mace, look at this. These are my, I know you've been watching me knit these. No, off. Come on, I'm showing, you're in my way now. I'm showing my, so, there you go. There you go. They're a little, girls, stop. Pearls here too. They feel a little loose, I have to say, around my calf, over my calf, although I don't know that they'll fall down. And either I'm going to wear them like this, but I'll have my pants down holding them up, and they're just keeping me warm. Or they'll be over like leggings, and so my leg will be fatter. So I think it's going to work out okay. But it's looking like it's time to start my lower ribbing. What do you think? Yeah. Here you go. The irony of that is that I had to have Dennis help me put my socks on this morning because my back ached me so much when I woke up. I think it's time to get a new mattress. Anyway, so I guess after this these pearls, I am going to start decreasing and getting in some. Well, they are awfully big, so it's no surprise. I need to think about, I think I'm going to need to tighten them up around the ribbing. And I'll be honest with you, I'm sitting here thinking, you know what, I could just take a seam. I could just take a seam and put a tuck in, and voila, they're tighter. If you have any suggestions other than a seam, let me know. But that's what came to my mind, and I'm thinking that'll work. But they have been feeling pretty big. But I have big calves. I am a big lady. I have big calves. So we shall see. But meanwhile, I think it's time to start finishing these off. There you go. So I'm going to take I'm going to look at the pattern and see how much they say I should take in, but feels like, well, my socks are 64 stitches, so, which is, you know, around my ankles, right? I will work on that, but I'm very close. The other thing I did yesterday, besides lose my pattern for my Corey in, is I picked my yarn. Now I was originally thinking that I went all different, you know, through all things in my mind, and I ended up thinking I wanted to do hand spun. And my friend had spun the Corriedale fleece that I gave her, and she gave me the yarn, and it's wonderful. And I thought, ooh, and it's, you know, neutral beige, natural color. And I thought that would be a terrible color for a, you know, but it needs to be super soft around my neck. So I thought, well, I have hand spun that, you know, hand spun merino and stuff that's really soft, and I could start it in my hand spun and then fade it into her hand spun and have a really lovely thing. But when I got her yarn out, I realized her yarn is fingering light, maybe light fingering. It's fingering for sure. And this calls for DK. So I was thinking, well, I could hold it double, and, you know, and then I just decided I wasn't going to do that. So then I was looking around to see what I have, and I remembered that last year, year and a half, December of 2022, my local yarn shop had 12 days of Christmas sales, and one of those days I bought some Noro. I have never used Noro. Now this is not, I think this is like a light DK. What does that make it, like a sport? But I think this will work, and I've never knit with it, and I'm curious. It's a single ply, which I'm told is, Noro is always a single ply. But since it's not going to have sleeves and everything, I don't think it'll have a lot of pressure and, you know, stress points and things. Anyway, I'm gonna swatch this up and see what happens. Just gonna see what happens. See if I like the drape. See if I like the if I can get a gauge that will work, whatever. But I can't find my pattern. It was laying around here, you know. That's how it is in my house. It's laying around forever, and now I can't find it. But this is the Geshe blend. It's 35% viscous, 35% cotton, 20% silk, and 10% wool. Now I'm wondering if it's going to be warm enough. Sounds awfully summery, doesn't it? Oh well. I'm going with it, I think. I think I'm going with it because I just feel like knitting this will bring me joy. And yeah. So what do you think? I'll take your, advice. But all kinds of cool colors in here, and like I said, I have never actually knit with Noro, and I know a lot of people like it, and I don't know, maybe people don't like it too. But being a single made me wonder. But on the other hand, blah 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 blah. Ramble, 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 ramble. So I found some needles that don't quite make it. Oh, and it's in my giant knitted project bag. This is one of the first things that I knit. And the bottom is like doubled, and it's felted. But the bottom is doubled, so and I'm pretty sure I just knit the thing and then I knit a bottom and sewed it to the bottom. Anyway, the handles are a little bit too thin, which feels like it's gonna rip. It's awfully big. Anyway, I tend to store things in it rather than use it as a project bag, but it was empty and sitting there, and I'm, me. So anyway, I can picture myself sitting in a meeting knitting on this. And one time I turned it around by mistake and I was knitting the wrong way. I was very new knitter. Very new knitter, but I have had this a long time, 10 years. More than that. Yeah. Probably 10 years, maybe more than 10. 10 and a half. So anyway, here's my Korean. I've got to print the pattern off again because who knows where it is. And I'm kind of tickled that these are so close. I will figure out how to tighten them up. Maybe sew some elastic thread in my ribbing at the top just to make it feel a little more secure. I don't mind that the rest of it is big around my leg, and I'll make it smaller to go down my ankle. So I'm excited about that. So we'll see how that goes. So there you go. But I'm going to print off my pattern again because things get cleaned up here and then you never can find them. That's how it is in my house. Rule of 3. If I had printed 3 of them, I would be able to find one. But I'll print number 2 and stick it in the bag, and that should be good to go. But I am going to do a swatch and see what I think. Just partly because I'm just curious to get started on this Noro and see. Okay, so that's it for today. I need to make crackers today. The dough is already thawed. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I didn't. I read a book yesterday. I started another book yesterday. Knit yesterday. And Dennis and I watched a couple episodes of The Unknown War on YouTube. We're getting to the end of the war. Spoiler alert, if you want to know who wins. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Today, I do not actually have much. I might be going shopping today. We'll see. And yeah, knitting, reading, visiting with Aura. So she's not all by herself all day. She comes down and hangs with us when she's ready for company. Yeah, hangs with us and the dogs. So that's it. Don't forget Saturday is our Zoom call, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Flame and Fiber podcast, the Ravelry group, has a sticky thread with all the info, and all you have to do is click on the thing. The lovely Valerie is our hostess, and looking forward to crafting with you. Who knows? Will I be finishing my leggings, or will I be working on my Korean, or will I be working on my dragon? I'm so behind. I've got to do stitching too. So, yeah. Meanwhile, please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.